What up, say?
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family.
All right, welcome back, guys. Okay, so before we go any further, we got to do my famous elevator pitch. Have y'all heard of the elevator pitch?
I know the concept, but
you do?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so that's funny because not most people are like, no, what's that? So it's like if you get in an elevator and somebody's like, hey, what's your name? What do? You got like 30 seconds until you get to the next floor to give your spiel, like who you are, what you do. So, Matt, you go first. 30 seconds. Give us your elevator pitch.
My name is Matt Lucero. I am a comedian, DJ extraordinaire.
Yeah.
That means I just do a bunch of stuff here in San Angelo and just having a good time.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Greg, let's hear yours, man.
All right. Well, hey, my name's Greg Duran, born and raised in San Angelo, Texas.
I like that.
Yeah, 40 years old. And you know what? Just been doing comedy for about 7 years right now. And I've had like a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of interesting people doing it. And I've been going out of town and I hope to keep doing it for the next, 20 years.
Absolutely.
I really want to get after it after, I've developed a really good networking with other comedians, so I see a future in it.
I like that, man. All right, cool. So, I mean, legitimately, you guys are 2 comics, working comics. Like you book gigs like every weekend, right? Pretty much, or close to it.
Here and there, yeah.
Here and there? Okay.
I don't do as many gigs. I like it because Greg is like working his way into comedy, and I'm kind of working my way out.
You are?
Yeah, I've been doing it 13 years altogether.
Why are you working your way out though?
Well, I just I kind of stepped back from it just whenever I sobered up and just kind of to get out of the environment. I only get on stage now when it's like when I feel when I have something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
That's when I'm like, I'll jump on a gig. I'll skip this gig or I'll jump on another one, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't really travel for it anymore. I used to a lot.
Did you?
Yeah.
What time frame was that when you were really in it like that?
I feel like that was maybe 2012 to about 2016.
Okay.
Kind of right in that area.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been doing it for 13 years, and it was kind of off and on. I took a 4-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Whenever I was sobering up, I was focusing on my business. And I stepped back from there, and then I would see Greg perform a lot. I started kind of following this guy, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna hop back on stage. Yeah. So
cool. Yeah.
Really.
So tell me, let's start with you, Greg. What is it that draws you to comedy? What draws you to the stage? Like, what do you get out of it? Why do you like doing it?
Oh man, you know what? Like, it's just something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid. I was like the troublemaker in school. Always wanting to like make everybody laugh.
Yeah,
that was a go-to thing.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of like really adrenaline you get. A really good adrenaline.
Yeah,
you get out of it.
True. It's like the most natural high there is, making somebody laugh.
Yeah, I don't even like I drink from time to time, but if I go do a show, I don't even touch the beer.
Really?
It's like I already got that. I already got what I can get out of it. So it's just all about having a good time out there, getting to know people. I really like developing my comedy is just getting better and better every time. I think so. So I just want to better my stuff. All the time.
So it's you enjoy developing that skill, working at it, and getting better at it. That's cool. Yeah,
because there's so many different levels of comedy. There's crowd work that you can do that you can be really good at, and there's this just practicing your set. Like building on it all the time.
For sure. Yeah. What about you, Matt? Like, what draws you to comedy, to the stage? Why do you like it?
It's kind of the same thing that I don't know. It's like a little bit of a detention. Like, you get a really good dopamine rush. When you hey, I thought of this joke, and you tell it on stage, and it lands. Everybody sees the same view as you, and it just everything.
What does that feel like? Like, describe that. Like, seriously, just describe like a joke, an original joke that you worked, you got up on stage, you told it, and it hit so hard. What does that feel like?
You would actually know because it's like working out, and after you've had a really good workout,
dude, there's nothing better. The endorphins,
and you feel the euphoria.
That's right.
After the workout.
So it's
same
like
thing
that
when you go upstage and you knock it out of the park, and you get off stage. That same euphoria, that same that runner's high. That people get that is just unmatched.
That's cool.
So it's just really, really good to like try to think of a concept, think of an idea, and then you see it come to life on stage, and then that's really your vindication of did it work or did it not
That's
work?
right. Yeah. Well, what about this, Greg? Like, back in the day, I was listening, I think it was Howard Stern I was listening to, and he had a comic on. He might have had Jerry Seinfeld on. And he was talking about how comics used to, they used to work the comedy clubs in LA or whatever, and they would work their routine, their set or whatever for like 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And they'd create these jokes, and each time that they would get on stage and perform them, they'd get feedback, but they'd also get feedback from other comics. Yeah. And these jokes would be worked and evolved and tweaked. And it's like now, though, you can't do that as much because everything's on the internet. And so it's like, dude, you already told that joke. Why are you telling it again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like, so how does it work for you, Greg? Like, what is your process now? And y'all kind of showed me a minute ago, which was fascinating.
Yeah, you got to see.
It was very fascinating. But if he's not around, let's say, like, how does your process work now? Like, what do you do?
Well, like lately now, we've got other comedians in San Angelo. Like we have practice spots that we go to and we help each other out. We got other comedians that help.
Greg
us.
has a stage in his house.
Yeah, I got a stage in my house.
Interesting.
The whole setup and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll go to he'll come to my house, we'll throw some jokes in. Like probably about 4 or 5 of us will come together. We'll even invite some friends over, and we'll get that small, intimate audience. Right there.
Yeah.
And I'm working on getting some new venues that want to do it like once a week out here.
Okay.
Like certain places. I can't say the names yet because they haven't said yes yet. But
I got you. Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm trying to get comedy going on like at least twice a week.
That'd be great.
Here. So that way we can all jump back and forth and keep it going, keep the new jokes flowing, keep it, fresh all the time. So that's and sometimes, you know what? To be honest, sometimes I'll be in my apartment just by myself going over my set. Just regular,
in the mirror, just going over.
Yeah, man, that's the best way to do it.
What about you, Matt? Like, what's your process? Would you say?
I have little tidbits that are funny that I chew on for a while, and I knock them around in my head, and then I start to go ahead and write it out. The first person that actually helps me with it is my fiance, Valerie. I tell her the joke. Is this funny? Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Yeah.
She even adds to it, man. That's
nice.
Yeah. So, and then usually I'll go ahead and write out a full set, usually about 5 to 10 minutes. If I have enough to say, hey, Greg, we need to have a little power. We need to have our little session.
Yeah.
Then we'll get together, and Greg gets on the horn with all the other comedians here in San Angelo. And we try to get everybody together and just practice.
I did not know that was going on.
That was cool. One of the hard things too. Is there's nowhere for us to do open mic stand up comedy.
That's right. That's right.
So there used to be a few places, and now there's a few places that do open mic.
Yeah,
but
there are.
Comedy is a different beast because the entire room has to be silent.
That's right, dude. Yeah.
I want to do a quick shout out right now because I know you have a sheep outside the building right there. Scott Sustek, you know him? Have you ever heard
Scott who?
Sustek.
I feel like I do.
Well, he's the guy that he paints most of the sheep.
He paints the majority of the sheep. Yeah, he's a local artist.
Yeah,
he's amazing too.
Nice. He's a great friend of us, and he lets us use his art studio too to do shows out there.
Okay.
And we've been doing we're probably gonna do something in October later on. We're gonna let him do the headlining. He's gonna be the headliner because he's a comedian too.
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Wow. Okay. I want to meet him.
He's actually a teacher.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he's a comedian, and then you can see where they kind of meet.
Yeah.
Where he has to keep people's attention. And
interesting.
Like
I want to meet that guy.
Like 30 West Concho, that's where his art studio is at.
Really?
Yeah, just right
I've
across.
heard his name, but I've never met him.
Right across from the latest Scoop. He has the coolest studio.
Okay.
It looks really neat. I think sometimes the best places that comedy happens is where it looks like it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so it's cool because it's kind of like an underground comedy show in
Yeah.
an art studio. The last one I DJ'd. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let you know whenever another show, and you got to be out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure we're good on everything here. We're good here. Let me make sure nothing cut off or anything. Okay, cool. Okay. So, well, yeah, but what was fascinating is I got to see y'all literally just kind of riffing a minute ago.
Yeah.
And that was cool, man, because I could see how, like, with you and just a buddy, like, telling a joke, like, you tell one part of it, you finish it, maybe you tweak it, and then y'all just both started cracking up, and you got a joke, you know?
He approached with the premise, added the line, and it's like, we kind of kicked it around until the punchline fell out.
Yeah. That's
the
crazy.
way it works, man.
Yeah.
And that's the way it works kind of at the powwow, too, that I have my full set written down, I do it, and then we kind of like, we all comment, all the comedians there all comment on each other's sets right after we've done.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Are y'all brutally honest?
Yes.
You are?
You gotta be. You gotta be.
You have
get
to
that
be.
tough criticism, you gotta have it.
Dude,
yeah.
Because
I mean, there's some
does anybody ever
comedians
get their feelings hurt?
I'm sure they do, but
probably when they leave after, like,
everybody. I'm sure we've all had a good cry in the
right.
I think everybody's real good about. They understand
that's what you need.
That we're all just helping each other out. We're not cutting each other down.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of.
It's almost like parenting. You're getting your child prepared for the world out there. You know, what if you
for
came
sure.
across a heckler that didn't like
seriously,
the joke, you know,
so it's the best thing for you for sure.
Yeah.
So like, as a comic, if you're doing this as a full-time gig or you're trying to, what does that look like nowadays? Is it like you book certain gigs on the weekends and hopefully you try to get the headliner spot and let's say you make $1,000 or $1,500, and then the better you get and the more sought after you are or your name is, you get paid more for headlining and you're just touring and is that how you're making a living until you get like a big special or something?
It's a slow build, man.
Is it?
I mean, there's the overnight success takes 14 to 20 years to get to, man. It's just really a slow build. In the hierarchy of comedy, you start out as host, then feature, then headliner.
See, I didn't know that. That's what you were saying a minute ago.
Yeah.
So that's literally how it works. Host. So you host a show. You headline. No, feature. What is feature?
Feature is the guy in between the host and the headliner.
Okay.
Maybe I could even say guest spot too.
Guest spot. And special drop in stuff like that.
Yeah.
But So host is usually the one that starts off the show.
Yeah.
Does the least amount of time. And then passes it to the feature. The feature, their job strictly is to warm up the crowd.
Okay.
With what would you say, 20 to 30 minutes?
Oh yeah.
On a feature set, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the headliner will go on. Usually that's 45 minutes to an hour.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Headliner's obviously making the bigger money.
Right.
Feature makes the next pay grade down, and then.
Are there any comics out there, comedians who are just features, like they just make a living doing that? No?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah,
but
that's interesting.
We don't know any off the bat because they never got.
I know, right?
I know. Yeah. The headliner spot is where you get to start hearing people's names, recognizability, and stuff like that.
Right. Like, what do you think? Do y'all know Matt Rife's story? Like how he popped off?
His was like a lot of TikTok and stuff like that.
I think so. Right? I don't really know it, but I just find that fascinating because I think it was like from just my perspective, like that's kind of what I was seeing on social media. Like some of his TikToks hit kind of big. He had some that went super viral. He's a good looking dude that didn't hurt. And then like he just kept blowing up. You know, and so I wonder how rare that is, you know, for that to occur.
And he actually just came out with a new special.
Did he?
All crowd work.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Amazing. I love it.
I'm sure he does a little bit of written stuff, but he does. It's the majority of it's crowd work.
That's crazy.
It's good. Yeah.
Do y'all do a lot of crowd work?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually how I start off my set. Is I go out there and I mess with the crowd a little bit. And I was telling him, I was like, that's because you get them to listen right away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they see that you're messing with the crowd and pointing people out and say this and say that, then
what about this strategy? And I mentioned this with Tang and Compton. What about you're going to go on, let's say you're going to headline, and you are hanging out with the crowd, and you meet some people, and you pick one thing with this couple, right? And you're talking about, let's say this guy's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, right? And so you make a joke about it.
Yeah.
And then you mingle around, you go to this other couple, and this one dude's got a cowboy hat, and you make a joke about him being a cowboy. So you're like planting these, like setting up these I don't know what you'd call them, but people who are already going to kind of be in your corner.
Yeah.
That way, when you get up there, you can make a joke about them, and they're going to laugh and be in your corner. You know, and kind of you're kind of setting yourself up to have a warmed up crowd. Do you think that would work to do something like that?
Yeah,
Is that a strategy?
I think so. Yeah. Especially that's what a lot of comedians will do is actually kind of get in kind of early, talk to the crowd, see what they can pick out for stuff like that.
Because the audience, they want to get involved too, you know.
That's true. They do, right? Yeah.
Like they just want to, you know, hey, sometimes the guy would just be dressed up kind of funny just so that way the comedian can pick on him anyway.
Right.
You know? So,
sometimes it's almost on purpose.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
Like with that new Matt Rife special, there's somebody sitting in the front row that dress kind of, that dress kind of,
oh really,
funny, and it's like you know you're gonna pick sitting in the front row.
He wanted it.
So some people want it, some people don't. Some people you mess with the wrong people and
dude, like at that. Do you remember at the Wandering Mind? Yeah. That lady that got mad, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my goodness,
she got pissed.
Oh man, she was cussing out the dude, the headliner. Yeah, she was cussing him out, and I was like, but he got her back.
He did. He kept going off on her too. Yeah. He went off on her, and everybody was just like, dang. Like, I think everybody was like, come on, lady, it's a comedy show. You know, why are you so pissed?
Yeah.
But it's interesting about that, about having to know your audience, like, especially like in a conservative, like, West Texas town like San Angelo. You know, it's like you gotta be careful sometimes. You know, have y'all ever been in a show, like done a show where you felt like you overstepped or you did something to really piss off or offend people, and jokes were just not landing? And has that happened? Completely bombed like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, actually, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll admit it. Yeah, you know, I've bombed with some people like before because, like, it was just a venue where, you know, there's people that didn't even know a comedy show was going on anyway. You know, so like when you get an audience that is prepared for a comedy show, it doesn't even matter if it's offensive. You know, they know it's a joke.
Yeah,
right.
But then if you do find yourself in a place where it's a bar and, you know, nobody's even. I have a 9/11 joke.
Yeah,
and it's a good joke. I've been working on it for about like 2 years.
Yeah,
I got it where I want it.
Yeah.
And I've had great laughs before. But one venue I had, it was like, oh man, it's complete silence.
Damn.
And then I added on to it that day. Whenever I got complete silence, I was like, man, I'm really sorry. Y'all don't like that joke, but that's a joke you'll never forget. And then I got to laugh. I got to laugh.
You did?
Yeah. That's a joke you'll never forget.
It's salvation laugh.
Yeah, salvation laugh.
There's times that man, sometimes you'll just a joke will do really well in a certain venue, and then you go to the next venue and it doesn't work. And especially with those risque jokes that are kind of the material.
I do like to push the envelope every now and
then.
Yeah. I do. So
what would happen if you pushed it too often? Are there people who do that? Like just constantly, like don't give a shit, like just as raw and like offensive as possible.
Since you were there at that show, right? There was the first guy that was up there. He was pretty like offensive. Like
which one? Not Cervantes.
Not Cervantes.
No, the other.
But there was another guy. It was a white dude.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was he from Abilene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And if he sees it, man, you know what? He did good. I still like, you know what? He said all his jokes, but they were very inappropriate. You know, like that day.
Yeah.
And the audience wasn't liking it. You know, you could tell.
Yeah, you could tell.
And it's just like, man, you know, he still went up there and he did his thing.
He did.
I got to give him props for that.
For sure. Yeah.
But you can be too offensive sometimes. I feel like, you know, you can.
Yeah.
You should know when to stop if you are, you know, a little bit. But, you know, it's hit or miss all the time.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's done that same act somewhere else and he's killed it.
And he killed it. Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
I can't think of a particular joke that I've done that's bombed because I try not to be too offensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I try to kind of steer away from it. But there has been entire sets that I've bombed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like I did one in Abilene, and man, I did awful.
You did?
And, yeah. And it was really because I had my business going at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was really busy with my business.
Uh-huh.
I was really busy trying to sober up. That was kind of one of the things. And then I just did not. None of my jokes were landing.
Hunter Montgomery, episode 9, I think it was. He was on my podcast with his girlfriend. He has an interesting story. So he grew up as he was a fat kid, and he got made fun of his whole life. So early on, like 4th, 5th grade, he developed like a really thick skin, and he became sort of like you couldn't penetrate him. You could call him fat all you wanted, but then he'd be like, "So I don't give a shit," and then he would just like cut you down.
Yeah.
So people stopped messing with him.
Yeah.
And then he became kind of a bully.
Oh.
And he later on, and you could tell that there was a lot of pain under what he was doing. You know what I mean? And later on, he came out and talked about it. But after high school, we went to college together, and we were really close friends. And that's really kind of when we started using together. We started using prescription drugs. We went down that path together. But then his parents made him go to rehab, and he finally got clean. He completely turned his life around. And
wow.
He actually lost like over 100 pounds. Became like this really good-looking guy, completely different personality, was like compassionate and nice, apologized to all these people, was like this good person, you know?
Yeah.
And he got married, he had kids, and then it didn't work out. His wife, there was some infidelity there, and it broke his heart. But then this is when TikTok was kind of just coming out.
Yeah.
And he went all in on TikTok, dude.
Man.
And he became pretty famous on TikTok, developed a huge following, and he always loved The Bachelor and Bachelorette. He was like a secret fan.
Yeah.
And so all the while he's building this TikTok following, he applied to be on The Bachelorette, and they put him on. They called him up. They're like, "Okay, let's put you on." And so he got put on The Bachelorette. This was like 4 years ago now. I think it was 21 or 22. And he was on The Bachelorette, you know, so that he was with a bunch of other guys. And he became like a big deal on the show because it was pretty controversial. Like they played football in this one episode, and he was a football player, and so he ends up like crushing this dude, and this dude's like on the ground crying, and of course like all those guys, like, "Oh, you're so mean and cruel," and like all of us West Texas like friends are like, "Hell yeah, he crushed his ass." So of course they all team up against him on the show, and that he's like this aggressive guy, and so that he gets kicked off. But he ended up being good friends with a lot of those guys, and the point is 15 minutes. It was really crazy because I got to kind of experience some of it. Like after the 3rd episode aired, I went to Austin with him. And it was another buddy too, and we just were walking around 5th and 6th Street down there, and dude, it was like he was an A-list Tom Cruise, like Brad Pitt, like girls out of the woodwork, college girls, like seriously, like screaming, coming out wanting a picture with him, like any girl he wanted, and we were just following, just kind of in tow, like, man, this is cool, like all these chicks were just hanging around with him, you know, taking the leftovers or whatever. But it was interesting. Because also, though, like, he sort of tried to hang on to that 15 minutes, you know? I think when you get a taste of it, like, you don't want to let it go. And so, like, he was doing, after it was all said and done, he was still doing a lot of TikToks, like, with some of the guys that were on the show. And they were, like, being buddy-buddy. And it kind of got a little cringy or whatever. And it was just like, you know, he realized it was time to let it go. But it's interesting because, you know, we've never experienced that. But I feel like once you taste it, you know, you don't want to let it go. Like the hot to a girl or whatever. Like she's maxing it out. And I mean, say what you want about her. I feel like she's gotten a lot out of her 15 minutes.
She did. Yeah. She cashed in her 15 minutes as much as she could.
Like you think
that's what I was just saying is that the breakdancing girl, the ray gun from Australia.
Yeah.
She is all over Facebook. So it's her time now.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I'm going to start following her to see what she makes of this.
Exactly.
I mean, my timeline has been nothing but her breakdancing clips for
I gotta
for
see
a while.
this.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, her performance. But I feel like deep down she kind of knew what she was doing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It was intentional?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like some of it there's no way she planned.
It's too good.
There's no way she practiced that. Whoa. She had to be making it up on the spot. She had to be like, she does snake hands for a minute. She's like, I'm gonna do this,
I gotta see
and then this. It's just terrible.
Funny. She did like the kangaroo hop too, right?
Really?
This is a church. This is a steeple. Here's all the people.
Yeah, for real.
She was pretty. I think she purposely kind of went out there to make a fool a little bit so she could get her.
How do you think you would handle 15 minutes of fame like that, like extreme fame like that?
Golly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd try to cash in as much as I could, but just so I can build the future and not have to work or anything like that.
Oh man, I'd go into hiding probably for a little bit, because well, like I would enjoy it as much as I can, but I'd make sure like none of my other family members would be trying to get after me after, you get the family members that are coming in like, oh man, remember when we hooked it up, cuz, they're like, man, all right, now you're here, dude, come on.
Yeah, it would be like that.
But I want to have a good time with it, my family, I would want them to benefit off of it. The family members that I love and that have supported me my whole life, I would want them to benefit off of it. But yeah,
that's cool.
I would hide from my friends though. Oh my god, like, hey man, let's go party in Vegas. They're like, no man, you weren't there, bro. Whenever I was down here,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
So that's how I would deal with it. I would make sure the people that I do love would benefit off of it.
Yeah.
At least try to. If it's good fame.
If it's good fame.
Like hers is kind of good fame.
Know,
she was having fun. She kind of made a fool of herself. I feel like it was on purpose. Yeah. But everybody's been through their bouts of bad fame. That's
true.
So it happens.
Yeah, she's maxed it out. I feel like at least
Yeah,
but it does suck probably to be known just for that. Like eventually she's gonna be like, man, I don't want to be known just for that.
Yeah, she could get tired of it.
Yeah. But oh well. So tell me, guys, tell me about the upcoming show. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that one's gonna be at Lifestyles of San Angelo.
It's Reed.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I didn't even know that. Yeah. I love Reed.
Yeah. Okay. Are you the one that set it up, or Reed?
Nice.
Well, Reed had he did something on Facebook where he was asking if any comics in San Angelo. So I hit him up about it, and then I was like, set up a meeting. And I let him know, like, I could bring some people if you want. We could set it up. Whatever day you want. And we just hit it up. We started a group chat. And I got the comedians that I wanted to get in there.
Yeah.
And Cooper was one of them.
Cooper Compton.
Cool. Yeah, Cooper is going to be out there.
Which, you have an episode coming up with him, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Friday or Saturday, I'll release theirs probably.
Cool.
And honestly, y'all's will probably be released around the same time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have Cooper Compton, Ryan Dale.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Dale.
Is that the name he uses?
Yeah, I guess.
Y'all know him?
Yeah.
We pick on him all the time.
Yeah.
Is he a good comic or what?
Yeah.
He's actually
that was
He's actually
I love Ryan.
Yeah.
He is a good comic.
Yeah.
I mess with him a lot.
Yeah.
Just because I know he
can he's a teacher. He's on Teachers Gone Bad. It's a tour in San Angelo that
What's that? Teachers Gone Bad.
Yeah. Kind of the teacher comedian.
Really?
Yeah. Where they kind of tell stories from the classroom. So Ryan's actually done quite a few of those, and then he has even toured to like Chicago, and he's done quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. How long has he been doing it? 2 years?
Wow.
2 years right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we give him shit because he feels like that's his 15 minutes of fame right now that he's got going on. We give him shit.
What is the bad teacher doing?
Yeah.
Teachers Gone Bad?
Like, I don't know. He
Why? Because he killed that?
No, he killed. He did good. He's done good. He's done good for his career. Right?
Yeah, he's done really.
But we
good.
just always give each other crap all the time.
As comedians, you give each other crap
all
the time. I give Greg crap. It's always we're always just kind of riffing and razzing and all that stuff. Yeah. But so we got Ryan Dale, myself, Greg Duran, and Cooper Compton.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that it?
Also, he got in kind of like Chris Crawford.
Oh, Chris Crawford.
Yeah.
Our boy Chris Crawford. Chris has been doing stand up here in San Angelo for what?
Has he?
Yeah, he's been doing it for as soon as I started to back out. Chris kind of stepped in, and man, he's been running shows. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he's been setting up shows. He's a good show producer. He's going to be hosting this one.
Okay.
And Chris is more like kind of like military.
Yeah.
He does more military stuff.
All right.
He's a clean comic.
He's a clean comic as well.
Yeah.
Who's headlining? Is anyone headlining?
I guess I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I am because I just
Are you getting paid?
We're gonna get a little bit out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he might pay me in gummies or something. Maybe it'd be all right. Yeah, for real. No, but that's pretty much how we got set up. How everybody wanted to be in the show.
Yeah.
So I asked her, how much time you want to do? Oh, you want to do 10? Okay. And you want to do 50? I'll do the 30. I'll do 30 minutes, and that lets me.
Some shows are real strict on time.
Oh,
with the feature and the headliner and all that stuff. Greg always runs his shows pretty loose. Like, hey, how much time do you feel like doing?
Oh, I see.
So, and usually me, I go like I go like 10 to 15 minutes. I can say whatever I need to say in about that amount of time. Yeah.
And that seems like
and on top of that, like my on-stage memory is pretty bad.
Oh, is it?
Like I will blank, which I've done plenty of times before that I'm like,
me too.
I don't remember
where
I was going.
Blank like that in the middle. What do you do?
Either you can address it a little bit or you can start messing with the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah. And while you're messing with the crowd, other stuff will come out, and then you'll kind of click back into it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, this is what I was doing. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So is Reed is going to be in the shop?
Yeah.
So is he's going to create like just seating, like in the front maybe?
Yeah, he's got that one area where the big window is, and then like that stage kind of set up.
Yeah.
That we're gonna use that for a stage. And he's got the sound equipment, and then he's gonna set up like about at least.
I can see it.
I told him we could fit like about 30 chairs up front, and then he's got some table space out there in the back to like.
I got you.
It's also a free show too, by the way.
Free.
Yeah, it's free show.
Free show.
Yeah,
cool,
even better.
Yeah, actually, tips are welcome. Tips are welcome.
Tips are welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what date is it again? It's this Saturday.
Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
At what time?
Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Yeah.
Starts at 8. What about alcohol? Anything like that? Is
BYOB?
I don't think it's BYOB. We could ask him.
I gotta look at the flyer again.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It may possibly just try to bring it and see what Reed tells.
Yeah. Or you could pregame it. It spams is right next to it.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's always a good one. Yeah. But and then I'm always, aside from comedy, I'm always DJing at Marshall Pint. I'm actually gonna be there on Friday night, and then I'm usually there every Saturday.
You like DJing?
Oh, I love it.
Really? Is that like your passion?
Yeah.
Really?
DJing is like, I like DJing better than comedy because comedy I have to work. Right. You know what I mean? I have to create jokes and make sure they work, and sometimes they go well, sometimes they don't. DJing, I just play music. Yeah. And a lot of times people are just telling me what to play, what requests I want to hear,
so
all that stuff.
How often are you doing that? Is that a steady thing for you?
I've been DJing for probably over 20 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been DJing since I was about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I actually used to DJ for 106.1 MDX. I know you had Simo on the show at one point, right? Yeah. So, Simo has always been very gracious enough to give me a job whenever my day job gets slow. He's like, if you want your part-time.
Really?
Yeah.
So you'll go work there?
Every once in a while, yeah. And really? I did that. Cool. I did that off and on for probably about, I feel like maybe 3 or 4 years. But then again, there was times that I would take a big gap, like 7 years, and then go back and stuff like that. So.
But how often are you doing DJing gigs? Like every weekend?
Every weekend, yeah. So Marshall Pint, I'm there every Saturday for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just love it. Yeah, they pay me in food.
Yeah.
No, I mean they pay me, but they also they take care of me and my fiance Valerie very well. That they always make sure we're fed, make sure we're comfortable, make sure we're good.
Yeah.
So I have a deep appreciation for Marshall Pint. Even with the comedy show that they put together, they were like, hop on this one. Yeah. So I was able to get onto that one.
Guys, I like that place.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what about you, Greg? What's your day job?
My day job, I work at Walmart at an automotive department.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I change oil and tires, all that stuff, How
long have you been doing that?
On and off, like about 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, 7 years on and off. Before that, I spent like right out of high school, I was a mover. I did moving furniture for about 15 years.
What was that job like?
That was, you know what? That's where like a little bit where I wanted to be a comedian came from too, you know? Because I got to travel to like a lot of places out of Texas, and I got to live in that kind of a motel life a little bit.
Yeah.
But also like the guys that I worked with, man, we were always joking around all the time.
I feel like that. I was gonna say I feel like it'd be kind of fun.
It is. Like I mean, there's a skill to it, an art to it, also. Like moving furniture.
True.
Yeah. It is. Like I could fit like this whole thing in like a little spot in a truck, like
he can move this entire office out here in 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's like playing Tetris in your mind,
Yeah.
And like
and so you get better at it the more you do it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
and then getting it in and out of your place, it's like there's tricks to everything. Like if you've ever like moved a couch and you're like wondering how the hell do you get it through the hallway, and like okay, I'm gonna stand it up, turn it this way, and then easy. Meanwhile, you're like, oh man, we're just, you're like, from a friend, so like pivot. Like, I would have got that up there so fast. I'm looking at it all the time.
Greg can do it almost one-handed. We moved in July, and I got Greg, of course, because Greg's just. He's one of those friends that still answers the phone. He knows he's going to move a couch, but he still answers the phone. So that makes him the best friend.
Yeah.
But I seriously, that's like, cool. I would be doing something. All right, let's move this couch. And I turn back around, and Greg would already have it up, standing up on his side. Yeah. And this dude, he has arms like tree trunks. Show him the guns.
I'm not gonna read. No, man.
No, man. Matt was a workout guy.
Yeah. You work out? Okay. All right. You'll appreciate it together. All right. Let me just.
He has arms like tree trunks. Yeah.
I haven't worked out in 3 weeks though, man. I'm not there. Not pumped up like I usually am. Yeah.
Greg is just made out of shoulders and arms.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And just a beard on top of that.
I kind of think that's the reason people laugh, because they think I'm gonna kick their ass or something if they don't. I'm like, no, man. You don't have to laugh. It wasn't funny. It's okay.
Are you married?
I got a girlfriend.
Okay, yeah. What about kids?
No kids, man.
Really?
And that's where also.
You're 40 exactly?
Yeah, 40.
Okay. Do you want kids?
You know what? If it was in the cards earlier on, yeah. But now I'm okay. I don't. Wow. Yeah, because also.
Are you okay without kids?
Yeah, I am. I really am. Yeah. And it kind of sucks with my family, because I got nephews that have kids, and they're like, "Your nephew has kids." So like, yeah, you know what? It wasn't in the cards for me in the future.
Because still could be though.
Yeah, but like the way, to be honest, my girl, she has a kid.
Okay.
So like, he's a cool kid. We hang out already. Like I'm doing stuff with him. And really and truly, she's really also loose about me doing comedy. She's been to a few of my shows, but she knows. Man, it's kind of sucks in a way, because if I end up being on the road all the time, I gotta put a hold on it sometimes with her, and she's okay with it right now. But if I would feel like crap if I had my own kids too,
a family, one thing takes away from the other.
I kind of feel like this is where, if I am gonna pursue comedy, but her son is so spoiled by me anyways right now. Like if I am on the road, I'm getting him stuff or whatever, so. So we're having a good time either way.
Yeah, that's your path, that's how you're going to be a father, in that way, to a stepfather.
Yeah. Also, like, I did have a child, and he was born premature and he passed away.
Oh man.
So like, at one point I was in my head, I was like, I'm gonna stop right there. It was a pretty powerful moment in that time of my life. And but like, I feel like he's the guy that's watching over me. Like whenever I'm on the road doing comedy, he's like watching out. Hey, Dad, I'm watching out for you right here. So
for sure,
I got that relationship with him all the time in my heart and everything. And still, like you said, you never know what would happen in the future if I did have a kid. But right now, I've already.
I feel you.
That's my path right there. Yeah.
A lot of times it's unplanned.
Yeah, a lot of times it's unplanned.
Whoops.
Yeah. Right. You want to make your announcement?
Oh yes, I just got engaged.
Yeah.
Bam! Look at that. No ring. Oh, well. I couldn't afford a ring for me, but I got one for her.
Yeah, dude.
It was really good.
How'd you propose?
We were on a family vacation in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
We were at Colorado Springs. It's a really tall mountain called Pikes Peak.
Nice.
14,000 feet above sea level.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So the oxygen up there is really thin. So no joke, I almost passed out right before
Are you serious?
Yeah, right before I proposed. Yeah. I went up a flight of stairs, and that's when I really felt it. I was like, I need to sit down.
Were you nervous though?
Yeah, I was super nervous.
Oh yeah.
So I think that was kind of what led to like me almost passing out.
Yeah, probably.
Was like I'm super nervous, and there's like the oxygen really is pretty low.
You probably almost did pass out.
Yeah. I know I did because my mom was there too, and she almost passed out.
Oh.
Same flight of stairs.
Did they know your parents?
Everybody knew except for Valerie.
Really?
Yeah.
And how'd you do it?
So we just went to this really beautiful area to take pictures.
Yeah.
We took our pictures real quick. I was like, no, stay here. I have it on video that she was trying to walk away. I was like, no, stay right here. She's like, why? And then I got down on my knees.
Yeah, on both knees?
Yeah, well, I had to get down on both to actually pull the ring out of my pocket.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So I had to get down on both and beg her to marry me. No, and then I got on one. And
then you got up on one?
Yeah, so I got up on one knee, opened the box, and then
what'd you say?
Immediately started crying.
You did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. The problem
I can see that.
The problem with me is that I start crying from my nose first. So it was just a real ugly cry. Just I couldn't get words. Yeah, I couldn't get words out. I was already short of breath.
You were crying, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said life has been a continuous adventure with you, and I want to continue that adventure forever.
Nice.
Will you marry? That's what I had in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it came out because I kind of blanked. I kind of blanked just for the.
Yeah.
And then
Plus
she
the
cried,
oxygen, right?
and then
Yeah.
she cried back, and it meant yes.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah. So,
And then y'all hugged and stuff and kissed.
oh yeah, of course, yeah. So
You know it's funny, like whenever I proposed to my ex-wife, I had it all set up or whatever, and I didn't realize how nervous I was gonna be. Like I don't really get nervous for that many things.
Yeah.
But I've never been that nervous in my life, and I don't know why that is. There's something about that, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I teared up. Like there's just something that it's such a unique experience.
It really is.
Asking someone to spend the rest of your life with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and like I was talking about her before we started recording too, that it was very easy and natural. She was my best friend. She was initially my boss first, and then we were best friends after that, and then she's just been my best friend ever since. So it was just very easy to propose, and it just feels like a natural thing.
That's right, dude. That's really what I was saying before we were rolling. That that I've always heard it. And the best relationships I've had are the ones that you don't have to try.
Yeah.
You know, it just falls into place the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
There's not all this, having to force things to happen, and it's just
there's no head games. There's no back and forth.
Right.
It's just hanging out with your best friend.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that's the best feeling you can have.
When was the first kiss though? Like when did it happen?
I'm trying to think.
You said like it was a few months before y'all.
We were best friends for a while before we started dating, and then even after we started dating, I was like, I didn't like make a move right away or try to kiss her right away or anything like that. And then one night I finally did. Yeah. I think I was dropping her back off at her apartment, and it was just a real quick kiss, right? And I was like, and she could tell I was nervous. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. And then she got out of the car, and I was like, wait! I got out of the car, and I tried to go and have like a nice romantic kiss with her, like let me get out of the car and run up to you and have a nice romantic kiss. So we had just a little kiss. She goes, "You good?"
Nice.
Yep, I'm good.
That's cool.
And I have never let her live that down. The you good? You good? Yeah.
Dude, that's cool, man.
She was like, "No, get back in your car and go back home."
Do you like her family and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so important, dude.
Yeah. So she is from Brownwood. I've gone and spent time with her dad several times already. Yeah. So cool. I actually asked for his blessing.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I did the old school thing that is
that you did that,
traditional and very respectful. I went and asked for his blessing before. On Father's Day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, that's pimp.
We had gone down to visit him for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And she went to go pick up some food or something. It's like, all right, this is my chance, real quick. So I went ahead and asked him.
What did he say?
He was just real excited.
He was?
Yeah. He was like, that's great. Yeah, he didn't have too much to say, but he was just very happy for both of us.
I would have said no, right?
I know. You know what's funny about that? So the woman that I married, she was from Germany, Nora.
Yeah.
And so we had to speak to her parents over Skype all the time, weekly. And I was like, okay, well, I want to do that too. I want to ask her hand in marriage, like do it the right way. I'm very traditional.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need you to go away. I want to talk to your parents. And she was like, why? Anyway, and so I remember asking her dad, and her mother was there too.
Yeah.
But I asked them, I said, I'd like to marry your daughter. I'd like your blessing. And they thought it was like the weirdest thing, like the funniest. They were like, really? Why are you? It's up to her. Like, why are you asking us?
Yeah.
I thought it was like so weird.
Yeah.
And we laughed about it because I was like, it's a traditional thing. Like, you do here, they don't do that there.
Maybe is it American?
I think it is.
It's like an American tradition.
Super weird to them.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
I don't know, but they don't do that. That's for sure. But, so it was interesting.
Yeah. So but it was good. We had a really good proposal. That was probably the best I could try to.
They say you don't really know someone until you move in with them. Yeah. Their habits and stuff, and see if you can live with her.
I already know her. Like I already know her her sounds when she doesn't like something. She
Oh,
does a
yeah?
little, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, oh, she doesn't
Yeah.
like what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because even like with arguments and stuff like that, we'll get into a little tiff about something
Yeah.
and then be laughing about it 10 minutes later.
Yeah?
And then be writing a joke about it the next day.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Me and her have a bunch of
So
little
y'all's-
bits.
How would you describe y'all's conflict management style? Do y'all hash it out right then? Do you need space and get away and then y'all come back?
I give it a minute.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just kind of let both of us cool off
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Do y'all yell or anything?
No,
Okay,
it was
that's
never
good.
gotten to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
She does it with her eyes.
Do you beat her?
Do you beat her?
No, she has real crazy eyes. I think
does
all
Yeah.
Latina women
Oh,
do.
dude,
They're
yeah,
born with it.
yeah.
Yeah. But she can just give me a look with her eyes, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you need a few minutes.
But then y'all can come back and talk about it?
Yeah, and then we can come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
I can usually crack a little joke about something, and then that'll
That's
kind of get
good,
the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That sounds good. dude.
Even sometimes if it needs a day or two to cool off, then we're always good.
What about trust? Y'all really trust
Oh,
each
yeah,
other? There's
yeah.
no like, let me see your phone, like who are you texting, that kind of deal.
No.
Good,
There's
man.
a lot of trust there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds great.
We're too old.
Right.
I feel like I'm too old to be.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
with all
do
that.
that.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like I had 3 jobs already. You think I could
I
go
know.
get a girl on the
Yeah,
side
like,
right now?
All right, guys, this is it. This has been the Matt Cutrer Report. These were our guests. This was Greg Duran. This is Matt Lucero. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check out the comedy show. It's going to be at Lifestyles on Sunday. What time does it start again?
Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8.
Show starts
Hey,
at
Greg,
8.
Can I tell them where to find us?
Yes, of
online?
course. Please.
I am under Matty in the Mix on all social networks. That's
Nice.
MATTY in the Mix. Just like on
Maddie
my
in the
shirt.
mix. All platforms?
On all platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly everything is kind of set up for my DJ page now. But
Okay.
I still post my comedy stuff out of there.
Nice.
Greg?
Same thing. I'm on Facebook and everything. Hey, you know what? I still even got my MySpace account, guys. All right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Do you?
I don't know. I think it is up there. I think it's somewhere
Is
up there. It might be.
It might be, huh?
Yeah. But I'm on all social media. Just look up Greg Duran or Greg Duran. Like
Yeah.
Duran the band. But you'll see a big old picture of my face right there. That's when you know you got it.
Nice.
Look for the beard.
Greg Duran. Hey, real quick though, we do this every episode. You go first, Matt. 3 things that you're grateful for right now in your life.
Oh, my sobriety,
Nice.
my fiance, my family.
Awesome. 3 things, Greg, you're grateful for.
Oh man. Okay. Family. My family right now. My health and the Lord.
I love that. And lastly, what's something that makes you genuinely happy? Like what fulfills you? What do you get joy from?
I don't know. I kind of have to think about my. I mean, just being home, not working, being home, sitting there at TV, chilling with my dog and my fiance.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, that's paradise. Anywhere.
That's a great answer.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter what house we're
That's
in.
your peace.
That's my peace. Yeah.
Dude, that's a perfect answer.
Yeah.
Cool. What about yours, Greg? What makes you happy?
It's 50-50. Always I like to be able to get like a lot done.
Yeah.
But also I like to be able to just relax at home too. Make sure my day was really productive to where I earned that time off to just relax now.
Yeah,
So
I feel you.
Yeah, so like getting it all done and then hey, all right, open up a quick beer real quick now.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Good. Thank you.
Appreciate
Seriously,
that. Thank
man.
you so much.
You. Thanks,
Hey,
Greg.
no
I
problem,
really
man.
appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, really proud of your podcast and everything.
Thanks, dude.
Your bounce back was amazing, bro.
Dude, thank
I
you,
have
man.
been everything happened kind of public.
Yeah.
And you made so much lemonade out of those lemons.
But I
bro.
don't want to get emotional, but I'll tell you something crazy, dude. So after you went on the What to Do podcast and you said that, and I found out you said that you were on there. I found it or whatever, and I listened to it and I sent it to my dad and my girlfriend, and I listened to it every morning before I get up, before I get going.
Really?
Every morning, it's my motivation, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time that somebody had said something positive about anything that I'd been doing. You know what I mean? Just like giving me any kind of credit or anything, and it meant a lot because it was on a public kind of platform. You didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And it just showed you were in my corner, and it means a lot to me. And I listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, your bounce back game is amazing.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys, you heard it. We'll see you later. We'll see you next time for a little more podcast. Take care.
3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals. Did it all